Welcome to this explainer. Today, we're doing something a little bit different. We're going to dive into a legendary mythological entity and explore just how much incredible narrative depth can be packed into a literal handful of words. It's a fun exercise in efficient learning, showing us exactly how much context, lore, and structural meaning a single well-crafted statement can carry when we actually stop and pay attention to the text.
Let's kick things off by establishing our strict boundaries with the source text. Here it is. The Hydra, a multi-headed serpent-like creature that guarded the underworld entrance under Lake Lerna and was defeated by Hercules. And that's it. That is our entire source fragment for today. It's this beautifully compact text that sets the absolute limits of the fascinating lore we're going to uncover. We aren't bringing in outside myths or modern pop culture distractions here. We're just extracting the pure narrative exactly as it's written.
Section 1. Meet the Hydra.
Right off the bat, our source efficiently defines the creature's terrifying biology. Notice how it doesn't just lazily call it a monster or a beast. No, it gives us a very clear, visceral, biological image. It specifies it's not just serpent-like, which immediately evokes scales, slithering movements, and all those fun reptilian features, but incredibly multi-headed. In just a few short words, the text constructs a profound physical threat. You aren't just facing a giant snake, right? You're facing a creature with a terrifyingly compounded field of vision and attack capability. That specific physical description is absolutely crucial for understanding what happens next.
Section 2. Guarding Lake Lerna.
So, the really crucial point here is that the Hydra wasn't simply wandering aimlessly through the ancient world. The text explicitly anchors it to a distinct location, specifically under Lake Lerna. But this wasn't just some picturesque body of water for a weekend getaway. It was explicitly defined as an entrance to the underworld. This completely changes the nature of the Hydra, doesn't it? It transforms this entity from a mere wild animal into a deliberate sentinel. It has a purpose, and it has a territory. The geography directly dictates the ultimate stakes of the creature's existence. It really highlights a fascinating aspect of why humans create such distinct boundary myths. We use formidable guardians to symbolize our deep respect and, honestly, our fear for the unknown lines between life and death.
When you put it all together, it translates to an incredibly intense supernatural job description, a multi-headed form stationed specifically under Lake Lerna with the sole duty of guarding the realm of the dead. I mean, guarding the gateway to the underworld is a heavy lift for anyone, even a multi-headed serpent. It tells us that this creature was exceptionally formidable, specifically chosen or adapted for an incredibly high-stakes security detail. Understanding this context really elevates the Hydra from just a random obstacle in a hero's path to an absolute cosmic necessity, cementing exactly why taking on this creature is such a monumental task.
Section 3. Defeated by Hercules.
This perfectly frames the ultimate showdown strictly as our text presents it. We have a profound duality set up in just a handful of words. On one side, you've got the formidable underworld guard, the Hydra, deeply entrenched in its supernatural domain under the lake. And on the other side, the challenger, Hercules. Now, the text absolutely does not mince words about the outcome. It clearly and bluntly states the Hydra was defeated by Hercules. We don't get the blow-by-blow mechanics of the fight or the cool tactics used, but we do get the absolute finality of the event. The unstoppable force met the immovable object, and the challenger emerged definitively victorious. Mapping out the timeline here reveals a crystal-clear three-act narrative. Step 1. The multi-headed serpent actively guards the underworld entrance under Lake Lerna. That's our established status quo. Step 2. The creature is challenged. And Step 3. The guarding of Lake Lerna is abruptly ended by Hercules' triumph as the Hydra is definitively defeated. It's literally a complete story compressed into a single sentence. We go all the way from an established supernatural order to an implied conflict, right to the ultimate world-shifting resolution.
All of this leaves us with one final, incredibly provocative question. Since our tiny fragment of text confirms the definitive defeat of the multi-headed guard by Hercules, we are pretty much forced to ask, with the Hydra defeated, who or what guards the entrance under Lake Lerna now? If that entrance to the underworld still exists exactly as the text outlines, well, its apex security system has just been entirely neutralized. It really makes you realize that every mythological conclusion is just the beginning of another amazing mystery. Until next time, keep questioning.